Hello, tropical meteorology students. Dr. Shragi here, and I am here to welcome you to ATS 553 Tropical Meteorology. It's also cross-listed as Environmental Science 553, and it is fall 2014, and we are getting ready to start a new semester. And I know that folks have lots of questions, I do too, and we're going to figure out how to make this all work. As I think all of you know, I don't actually live in Omaha. I'm one of only a handful of professors at Creighton University who are completely located off-site. I happen to live in southern Indiana with my wife. We live in Evansville, Indiana, with as well as our two sons. Xavier is 4 and Gabriel is 1. And we moved here about almost a year ago now, when my wife, who's a dentist, had a chance to buy a dental practice in her hometown. And it's been kind of an interesting experience to get to learn how to do all this online teaching and to find new ways to do things, and I think we're going to have a great semester. ATS 553 is a really unusual class in that it has to appeal to a lot of very different demographics. It is a class that is often taken by graduate students who are thinking about doing projects in tropical meteorology. It's a course that is often taken as an elective for atmospheric science majors. It is a requirement in some environmental science tracks. It's an elective in some environmental science tracks. So you can see that we have a wide range of students in this course. There's going to be students who have as little as ATS 113, the Introduction to Atmospheric Sciences, to grad students who might have a bachelor's degree in atmospheric science and now are working towards a master's degree or something like that. That's okay. It is the nature of this course to be a very diverse, to appeal to a diverse range of backgrounds, and we adapt what we are going to do each semester based on what are the abilities of and needs of the students who are taking the course. And this semester is no exception. We're going to work on figuring out exactly what everybody needs and what will be the best type of course for them. So this is going to be an online course. I know sometimes people get a little bit spooked by the whole 500 number. Don't worry about that. That's something about the way the university works. 500 level courses mean that they can be taken either by graduate students or by undergraduates. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's like harder than a 400 level course, because graduate students need courses that are about background too. So you don't need to be terrified that somehow like this is going to be harder than that 400 level course you took. No, it's just the bookkeeping of the university. Don't worry about that. Okay. Here's an important question we have to answer. When is this course actually going to happen, and what's the format, and so on? The university would like us to at least sometimes meet where you guys actually come together in a classroom and watch me up on a screen. We'll be communicating via Skype. There'll be a camera pointing towards you guys. We've done this in some of my other classes if you've taken other courses with me. It doesn't have to be every time like that. Sometimes it'll be like this, where we just record something and I share it with you via YouTube and you watch it on your own. But the university would prefer that some of this be handled in what they call a synchronous way, where we're actually communicating back and forth, and that's completely fair. So in order to do that, though, of course, we need to come up with a time and a date at which this class meets. Now, a couple weeks back, I sent out an announcement asking for folks to give me their availability, and a lot of folks did, and I appreciate that. Other folks weren't able to give me their availability yet because they were in the process still of possibly changing what courses they were taking, or changes in schedules, or they were going to make some changes to the classes or whatever. Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fair, actually. So one of the first things you need to do, though, is you do need to send me your schedule for the fall semester now that presumably you have it all locked down. And I'll find a time where we could have a room reservation and so on. I don't know that I necessarily think we're going to meet like Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 or something like that. I'm not sure it's necessary to be that rigorous about it, so much as maybe we'll meet on Mondays. Maybe we'll meet on Mondays and you'll watch videos on Wednesday, again, videos that I'm producing, lectures and things like that. I'm not sure it's necessary that we meet every single time. But we'll find something once we can see your schedules. So everybody should send me their schedule as much as possible. This class is pretty much a classic lecture discussion type format class. I have a large set of PowerPoints that I modify each year, and we work from there. You'll be watching lectures whether we are doing it via Skype. Skype has a way that I can be showing you slides up on the projector while I teach and lecture to you, or whether we do it in a pre-recorded way like this. Either way, it's going to be fine. And of course, you will also have access to the PowerPoints and handouts and all that kind of good stuff. There's also, of course, the readings that come to us from the textbook, Tropical Climatology, which comes from McGregor and Neuwald. So you're going to be doing some combination of readings and watching PowerPoints and so on, and we'll have discussions together. We have an aircraft passing. I apologize for the noise in the background. And my air conditioner is out in my house right now, and so it's actually much more pleasant to be outside than in my house trying to record this video, but I didn't think about noises like that. Anyway, your grades. Your grades are going to become principally from exams. About 60% of the total grade typically comes from exams. The exact mechanisms I'm going to be using on Blue Line to do the grading make it a little bit fuzzier than that, but approximately 60% of your grade will come from exams. They have a mixture of objective, like essay questions, and the objective questions are like true, false, multiple choice, and some that are subjective, like essay questions and so on. We can talk about that more later as the semester goes on. About 60% of your grade comes from a total of 4 exams over the course of the semester. Of what's left, a big chunk of it is going to be quizzes. These quizzes are not like pop quizzes. They mean like after you watch an online lecture, there'll be a short quiz or do a reading. Sometimes after a reading, you'll do a short online quiz that basically just verifies that you did the work. It's kind of a participation quiz kind of thing. There are some homework assignments that we do over the course of the semester. There are learning certain analysis techniques and so on. They're working with maps. I don't think any of them are anything other than working with maps. Some of your grade comes from participation. Again, you'll be able to see this in the syllabus, okay? So the part of your grade will be coming from participation. If you actually look at the syllabus, 10% of your grade comes from the project. This is actually a little bit of a slippery thing depending on exactly who ends up in the class. This course is in the curriculum of the atmospheric science program as being where students learn about research. Some semesters that means we actually do research. Some semesters we've even run models or we've worked with satellite data. That isn't necessarily what we do every semester though, depending on the background of the students. Maybe we just talk about research. How did they figure this out? What kind of data did they use? What was their hypothesis? And so on. So some semesters we just talk about research or maybe do a little readings about how research is done in atmospheric sciences. Other semesters we actually do some research. It kind of depends again like how many grad students we have or what the background of everybody is. So we'll decide that. If we don't do a project, everything else just sort of counts slightly more. If we do a project, the project is worth like 10% of your grade. We'll figure that out. Do get the book. I know a few people are still waiting for it to be shipped, so I won't post the first reading and the first quiz associated with the book just yet, because it's just not time for that yet until everybody has the book. So the whole course is being run out of Blue Line, and you should go to the Blue Line website and make sure you know what's going on there. When you're there, if you don't already have them set up, make sure you have your notifications set up correctly. And I have a video posted in the Welcome to ATS 553 module that helps you know how to set up your notifications so that when things happen on Blue Line, like new stuff gets posted or something gets graded, you know you get that information in a way that works for you, whether that's text message, email, Twitter, Facebook. You have like 20 choices of ways to find out on Blue Line Plus. I'm sorry, Blue Line 2. Anyway, so make sure you have that set up, what works for you. And then all the materials are going to be posted on Blue Line in the form of modules. Modules are what on Blue Line they call like a unit. Okay? So we're going to be starting in the first module of the course now. The first module of the course is like overview of tropical meteorology. A lot of terminology, a lot of examples of the kinds of diagrams we're going to be using and so on. Before we move on to the second module, which is monsoon meteorology this semester. So, and then the fall break, and then the third module I believe I'm doing oscillations like El Nino, the quasi-biennial oscillation, the Madden-Julian oscillation, and so on. And then the fourth module it will be hurricanes. And so, okay, so we have these 4 modules, and at the end of each of the modules, there'll be an exam. So as each material gets posted and I've updated things, it'll become available to you. Some of that stuff's actually already there, I just don't unlock it so that there's no confusion as to what material we're on, and so on. Anyway, you know, it's a small group. We're going to be able to make all kinds of things work. We're going to be always open for discussion. You, on the syllabus, have all kinds of information about how to contact me, email. You can always call my cell phone number. You can contact me anytime via Skype or Google Hangouts, although I officially have office hours from 2 to 3. Outside of 2 to 3 every weekday, if you need me for something, I'll be glad to answer that and talk to you, but it might be just to set up when we'll meet. I might be in the middle of something else outside of 2 to 3. 2 to 3 will always be set aside as office hours. Okay, well, I think that's everything, and if you guys have any questions about how ATS 553 is going to work, please don't hesitate to call me, or email me, or whatever works for you. Skype me. I always like to see those, get to talk to students face to face. And this has been Dr. John Schrage.